Hey everybody, welcome, welcome to Hidden Horror. Thank you for spending this time with me. I appreciate that. Let's get started. Hey everybody, welcome to Hidden Horror. How are you guys doing this afternoon for a Saturday? Well, I'm here to just bring you a quick update on the Jussie Smollett case. You already know he had appealed to the Illinois Supreme Court. Um, he was convicted of the hoax. Um, and for some reason, he's appealing it. I guess he does not want to spend any time in jail. So he's appealing it. And now the Illinois Supreme Court, they heard his appeal. Um, and now we're just going to wait for a decision. And he can always, if he doesn't get the verdict he wants there, he can always appeal it to the United States Supreme Court, really alleging that this is double jeopardy, that he is being essentially tried for the same crime. I disagree, but he's allowed to do that. So I'm going to go to the article. It's by CBSNews.com. It's titled Illinois Supreme Court Hears Jussie Smollett's Appeal. It's dated September 17th, 2024. And the article is by Elissa Kaufman. The Illinois Supreme Court on Tuesday heard former Empire actor Jussie Smollett's appeal of his convictions for orchestrating a hate crime hoax. Smollett claimed he was the victim of a racist and homophobic attack near his Streeterville apartment in January 2019 after he walked several blocks for a Subway sandwich shop. After police investigated his claims, detectives later focused on Smollett himself, and he was charged with staging a fake, should be a fake, not fade, hate crime against himself with brothers Abel and Ola Ansendero, who later testified he paid them to stage the attack. So let me pause here. Maybe you guys don't remember. I mean, this has been going on for quite some time now. In 2019, allegedly, Jussie Smollett, he arranged for the Ansendero brothers to physically attack him, to pretend to beat him up, to pour bleach on him, to put a noose around his neck. Let me show you a picture of Jussie Smollett. You may not even remember him. He was on a hit reality show on TV. This is a picture of him. Okay. He was on a hit reality show on TV. He was an actor. He is an actor. And at some point, he thought of this hoax. He created all these ideas, and he wanted some racial slurs to be said to him. He wanted the two Sendero brothers to wear "Make America Great" hats. He wanted to be fighting with them, but appearing to, be strong in the fight and kind of overcome them. Which, when you see their size, they're like bodybuilders, so that didn't even really make sense. He had set it for a day where it was like one of the coldest days in Chicago, Illinois. It was a polar vortex. The temperatures were in the negative degrees. And he decided to go himself, not DoorDash it, not have food delivered or somebody else go out and get it at these early morning hours, but he decided to walk to a Subway for a sandwich. He purchased a sandwich. He was walking back and he had arranged for the attack to be in camera view because he really wanted the attack to be filmed. I believe he had intentions on sharing the footage from the attack to show, hey, I fought back, I was strong, et cetera, et cetera. So he wanted again for them to um, say it was like a script, like they practiced it, they talked about it, and they were hired allegedly by him to pretty much kind of like act out a scene. That's why they're calling it a hoax. Where they were going to say these racial slurs at him. They were going to come up to him. They were going to punch him, attack him. They were going to pour bleach. Now, where do you get bleach from at this hour in the polar vortex in the dark? But he wanted bleach poured on him. He wanted them to, put this noose around his neck. Like, where would a noose come from? I mean, really wild stuff. And it was clearly not believable. I don't know how people felt, but I didn't believe it. It was just so many extremes, and the police didn't believe it. And they looked into him. They end up feeling like something wasn't right. They found out about the Ascendario brothers. They interviewed them, and they admitted, yes, this was something that was staged. We were paid. We were like actors. All at the bequest of Jussie Smollett, allegedly. And long story short, Mr. Smollett was charged. He was found guilty, and he is saying, "Well, um, I wasn't supposed to, even be charged because this is a violation of my Fifth Amendment right. I'm being charged is double jeopardy. I was let go before, and now you're charging me again. I paid, this money, and now, I'm now being charged and prosecuted is double jeopardy." So that's his argument. That's what he essentially is arguing with the Illinois Supreme Court. And if he doesn't get vindicated there, he may even take it to the U.S. Supreme Court. And this is going to go on for another set of years. But that's what his argument is. So let me get into the article, okay? Cook County prosecutors dropped those charges weeks after he was charged, but a judge later ruled that Cook County State's Attorney Kim Foxx's office mishandled the case and appointed a special prosecutor to review it. So I'll pop in here. There was some allegations saying that Kim Foxx, she was pressured to drop these charges, that she personally knew Jussie Smollett allegedly, and that her dropping the charges and just having him pay a fine, it was not appropriate. And they had decided to have a special prosecutor review the case, and the special prosecutor then charged Mr. Smollett with some disorderly conduct charges. Really, it should be like filing a police report, but whatever, a false police report. But long story short, so Kim Foxx is, out of the situation now. A special prosecutor is in. He charges Mr. Smollett. Mr. Smollett goes to court. He is convicted, and then he is appealing the conviction. And he's appealing the conviction on the grounds that this violates his Fifth Amendment right. This is double jeopardy. You have a right to not be charged with a similar charge again. Okay. So now move forward with the article. Smollett spent 6 days in jail, 6 days, before he was released while he appealed the verdict. So time has moved on. He is out. He is free. He is doing whatever he wants to do as long as he is abiding by his requirements for his release. He has not served all of the time that he was supposed to serve. So they're holding that off until the Illinois Supreme Court makes a decision about the appeal. Okay, so in a 2-1 decision, the Illinois appellate court panel rejected Smollett's argument that his trial violated his Fifth Amendment protections against double jeopardy. Now, So at the appellate court level, they said no. It was 3 judges, 2-1. They said no. Then Jussie Smollett appeals it to the Illinois Supreme Court, and now the Illinois Supreme Court has heard his arguments. And again, it's based on this is double jeopardy. This is me being charged with a similar crime. You can't do that. My Fifth Amendment rights have been violated, and that was a no-go. But he wasn't prosecuted for it. People can charge you and drop the charges all the time. Now they did take that bond money, so that may be at issue. They could always return it, and then when they complete the original sentencing, they can decide if they want to have him pay restitution, because there was some talks of the police department efforts manpower spending over $100,000 to investigate this hoax. So that could come up in restitution. I'm not sure. And then he may be required to complete the jail sentence that he has. I'm not sure. Okay, the appeals court decision found that Smollett was not denied due process, ruling that there was no evidence prosecutors had agreed not to prosecute Smollett further when the initial charges against him were dropped in exchange for him forfeiting his $10,000 bond and performing 16 hours of community service. Now, this is kind of shocking to me that for the pain and the hurt that people felt in this hoax, that he was only given 16 hours of community service. That's like really low to me. The 10,000 bond, I really don't care about, because that's really like less than 10% of the financial part where the resources were used. So, maybe they need to re-sentence him. I'm not sure how they're going to handle that, but I'm still following the case. I'm on it. So let's continue. But appellate justice Friedena Lau dissented in that ruling, arguing it was fundamentally unfair to appoint a special prosecutor to charge Smollett a second time after he'd entered an agreement he believed would end the case. But he was never prosecuted. If they dropped the charges and they did not have an agreement not to charge him, I believe, in fact, I read that they were telling him, we're looking to charge you, like we're looking at a special prosecutor to go over this, because again, they felt that Kim Fox, she had an inappropriate action in dropping those charges. And people were upset. And I think if Jussie Smollett, and I've said this before, if he had let it go and moved on, I think it would have turned out maybe possibly different, but he was so vocal about how he was, brought forth in charge, and, how he was innocent. And they're like, no, you're not innocent. Like, the police were really upset. And then for me, I think it was how, it was like you wanted the noose on your neck. You put the noose allegedly on your neck yourself. You tightened the noose. That was bizarre. You asked that they pour bleach on you, and you were on camera on that video, police cam. You were like, oh my goodness, I smell bleach. Bleach is on my clothes, but you didn't take the clothes off. It was extremely bizarre. It's like you wanted to be a victim, and you took all of the hurt, all of the pain, and all of these different areas, including Make America Great, something that can divide people. You took all of these major things and you used them, and you try to get support, garner support and attention for that. And I don't like when people do that. I don't like when they do, evil things, dark things, and, they're trying to get attention for something bad that they have done. That just, really is disturbing. It says, should Smollett's appeal to the Illinois Supreme Court fail, he could take his case to the U.S. Supreme Court, since he is arguing his conviction violates his Fifth Amendment protections against double jeopardy. So I'm going to just pop in the comments and just see, okay, no comments. Please, guys, let me know what you think. Do you think that his Fifth Amendment right was violated? The double jeopardy clause, was that violated? Or do you feel and agree with the appellate court for Illinois that no, it was not violated? You have not been charged twice. You were denied any of your rights. You were convicted, you were sentenced, and now it's time for you to complete your jail time, et cetera, et cetera. Please, guys, let me know what you think. I'm going to follow the case. Now we're just waiting for the decision by the Illinois Supreme Court. And again, if he's not vindicated there, he may choose to go to the U.S. Supreme Court and continue to drag this on. I mean, it's been like 5 years. Um, I'm wondering, has he moved on with his life? Has he made change? Is he going to apologize for this hoax, this lie, this fabricated story? Is he going to take responsibility? Is he going to be accountable? Is he going to stand up and say, you know what? I made a mistake. I'm putting this mistake behind me, and I'm going to get him off here. And I'm putting this behind me. I'm moving forward. I'm going to make a change for the better. I'm going to do better. I'm sorry. I apologize. I apologize to all the communities affected, because to me, he used race. He used, the past with the noose. That was very disturbing. Even just pouring the bleach. Uh, it was just a lot. So um, I know many people came out to support him, and we should support people where there has been a hate crime, where there has been violence. People have lost their lives. They have been killed, they have been tortured, they have been beaten, they have been ridiculed, humiliated, embarrassed, shamed. Um, all kind of terrible things, killed. I think about Emmett Till when I think about that news, and it's really hurtful. So I really feel like it's time that Jussie Smollett come to grips with what he did, what he said. The everything started with him, and it would just be good for him to move on. But for people to move on, he has to come out and tell the truth and apologize. He hasn't done that yet. Um, I think that's what's needed for him to really move on. I know he is considered disgraced. Um, he's really hurt a lot of people that came out to support him, and he owes them that. He owes people that apology, um, and asking for people to forgive him for what he has said and done, and pay the money, do the jail time. Maybe if he came from a humble place, they could make it so he doesn't have to do the jail time. Um, I think it's time. So that's all I have to say about it. Thank you for spending this time with me. I will update you once the Illinois Supreme Court comes out with their decision. Remember, please stay smart, stay safe, stay savvy, be well, all my friends. Have a good afternoon. Bye, everybody.